Hi, Well Henshaw again, a constitutional kook on the San Francisco Peninsula. And this is a video I think will have a broad spectrum of interest here. What they're doing these days with all the transgender BS, especially in the elementary schools for crying out loud, and the reasons that they're doing it. I mean, we never heard of such a thing back in the day when I was in school. It was comparatively normal education back in the 1950s. And even in high school, we didn't hear crap like this. But the main reason they're doing it today is to push the government agenda, and make people be more aware of quote unquote civil rights, like this. And that's all this is civil rights they're talking about here. But they want to inculcate young people particularly so they get used to the idea of civil rights being a fact of life. When the real truth is, and you'll learn this, uh, from getting my material, send me an email, uwinandcourt@gmail.com. Not only does the 14th Amendment not exist, it never has. The Supreme Court ruled it contemporaneously unconstitutional, and that's where all these rights of transgenderism come from. And the big problem with that is that's federal regional martial law rule that destroys the integrity of the sovereign independent states admitted into this union, of which there are none left. And that's a big job for me, is to do the best I can, either get them back where they belong, or at least leave the path open for you younger people to finish the job. As if we have that, that's the government we were supposed to have. Republican form of government, defined and limited powers, not the elective despotism we have today, otherwise known as democracy, otherwise known as 3 wolves and 2 sheep voting on what's for dinner, otherwise known as exactly the same government they have in Pyongyang, North Korea. Enough already. And that's why we got to cut this crap out. And at one of the same time, people, think about this one. Those of you that had any encounters, with the just us system, know the moment you hit the front door of the courthouse, quote unquote, aka administrative tribunal, you're considered incompetent. Wait a minute. If that's true, how can second or third grade children be competent to decide that they're a transgender entity? Oh, where does this come from? Number one. Number two, whatever happened to the concept of parental rights, which, by the way, are not granted by any department of the de facto National Socialist government? If that's not a creator endowed inalienable right, it's very hard to see what would be. So parents have all the rights there, and certainly the right to keep this crap out of schools. And I would say, especially up until at least maybe 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, and maybe not then. You get into college and broaden your horizons a bit, and you've had a good education through grades 1 to 12. That would be one thing. But when they come at you, even in college, and don't tell you the real story behind it, which is the 14th War Amendment and increased national power over every aspect of American life, that's what has to go. And this is an area we can beat them. And, we can do it, with the local school federations and things like that. If you want to join me, send me an email, uwinandcourt@gmail.com, the parent-teacher societies, and get our rights back. And tell these people in the boards of education and places all the way up to Sacramento here to knock this shit off. They have no business doing it, especially, in grades 1 through 6 and maybe even 1 to 9. Kids have enough to deal with in this day and age without that. And that's the way it is. And the same thing goes for all this transgenderism in sports and this, that, and the other, and having men and women's dressing room undressing in front of them and the women forced to undress. What the hell is going on here? Federal regional martial law rule. Enough is enough. Help me to get the truth out, and we'll beat these bastards, and we'll do it as quickly as possible. And we have a U.S. Supreme Court that's going to understand exactly what we're doing, finally, after 90 years. To learn more, send me an email, uwinandcourt@gmail.com, and I'll get you information on the materials I have, modestly priced, payment plan in effect also. And we'll get it out there, and you can go in there and start asserting your real rights, enforceable ones, not civil rights. Ain't doesn't work that way, never was planned to. And the people at the time contemporaneously didn't give a rat's ass about the freedmen, except in the South, where they could gain control of the southern legislatures and get the Democrats out of there and get more control by the new Republican Party. Video for another day. But they never gave a rat's ass about that. What they wanted was federal regional martial law rule. Check the yellow things around the flags in your courtrooms. That's exactly what they're telling you. Oh, I run on a bit here. I know I do. But in any case, send me an email for more information. unincourt@gmail.com. And we'll work together and get up and running here and put an end to this fiasco with very young children, particularly. There's just no way that this works, and they know it on the other side. All we have to do is fully expose it, and I think it's going to take care of the problem. And with at least 6 justices on the U.S. Supreme Court, we're going to see it the same way we do. That said, subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. As soon as we get the government types to cut out the BS of 150 years, divide and conquer, the sooner we get them off our backs. Thank you.